Hey, it's Jon Hamm. I got here early and set my tech up very quickly, so of course I'm waiting for three idiots. Welcome to SmartLess.
SmartLess.
Oh my God, that gives me, is that Yaz?
Yeah, Yaz it is.
That brings me back to, I went to Chicago once to work the phones at a charity or a telethon.
Jason? What have you done with my Jason?
Yeah, and I met a girl there, and she was also working the phones. And we fell in love.
And
I was 15, and I went back home. I talked to my mom about this love I fell in with this girl in Chicago for a whole full week. She said, "Why don't you go back and see her? I'll take you. I'll go with you." I was like, "Great." My mom and I got back on a plane the following weekend, went back to Chicago, and I had the most...
Because you told her you fell in love with a girl?
Yeah, working the phone banks with me at this telethon, and we had a magical weekend, and that was that. All we listened to was Yaz the whole weekend.
Yeah, Only You. It's one of the best songs ever. Now, Jason, did you know that the guy who wrote all those Yaz songs wrote all those Erasure songs and wrote Depeche Mode songs?
Really?
Vince Clarke.
Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah, a bunch of it. Well, Vince Clarke was the writer of Yaz, and then he went to Depeche Mode and wrote, Just Can't Get Enough and all those kind of songs. Then he left Depeche Mode and went to Erasure and wrote all the
So now let me ask you this. Sean, you might know that. You probably do. The name of the lead singer of Yaz, what was her name?
Alison Moyet.
Wow.
Yeah, again, I said you may know this, but yeah, okay.
Well, do you guys...
Well, don't give Jason yeah, go ahead.
Did you guys know what the music festival was where Queen...
Love this new game show we have.
Queen was the headliner and Yaz led in for them? It was called Yaz Queen. It predated Lollapalooza.
I can't believe I'm laughing at that. So stupid.
Look who had a good one.
Yaz Queen.
Even a stopped clock. All right?
I want to ask you guys what the worst trouble you got as a kid, because here's why. Because whenever I'm like 5 minutes late to rehearsal, however late I'm in rehearsal here in Chicago, I feel like I get in trouble like I was a kid. So I was talking to Scotty about that. And Scotty's like, I asked Scotty, what's the worst trouble you got as a kid? Scotty got his mouth washed out with soap from the nuns in Catholic school. He was about 6 or 7 years old. And he got in trouble because he was making fart noises on his arm in the bathroom.
Oh, boy.
And they literally took soap and they really, literally scrubbed his mouth.
Why, they should have scrubbed his armpit.
Right.
But you know what he did?
With the soap.
He breathed in to make his mouth all dry so that it wouldn't suds up. You got under our guest, or?
I mean,
Yeah.
Wow. Are you trying to?
Will, can you top Scotty's dry wash?
I mean, there have been a lot of stories of heroes over the years, and that is really, people really, when their backs against the wall, are forced to come up with, right?
I love the way Scott outsmarted them.
Yeah.
There's no fluid in my mouth, so you will not get suds, ma'am.
But I always thought that was like a not real thing, that you got your mouth washed out with soap, but he got his mouth.
That once happened to me.
Right.
Yeah.
One time my mom went to hit me with a wooden spoon, true story. And I was in the kitchen and I was being mouthy, I guess. I can't imagine how.
Probably not.
And I was sweeping. I was holding a broom and I was sweeping, and she went, and I said something, and she went to swat me with the wooden spoon, and I put the broom up to block it, and it broke the wooden spoon in half. My timing was perfect, and it snapped it in half. And there was a moment of like, what just happened? And then we both burst into laughter.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, because you said you better step off.
Well, just because I was able to block her so easily. And
right.
Then
the whole topic of abuse in families is.
Well,
she went to hit me on the butt with the wooden spoon. And
next time, does she come at you with a metal spatula? Because that's what I would have done. I would have learned my lesson.
I know it. I guess these days, I don't even want to get into the broader conversation because.
Yeah, hang on a second. Let's talk about how you discipline your children and what you advocate for.
Yeah, I want to open that up. And I'd like to open it up to the world. And not only that, I want to hear their opinions on it.
You would never do anything.
No, of course not.
Guys, here we go.
Hi.
Ready? Mind if I got a burp? I'm not going to burp right now.
Would this guest appreciate something like that?
He wouldn't care. He wouldn't care.
You didn't even wait for our answer. You said, "Do you mind if I burp?" And then you just were going to do it. You didn't.
I was
'cause
gonna-
Why bother saying it? It's just.
Was it a false alarm? Because I didn't see you burp.
Yeah.
No, it came up. It was right on the whatever this is, part of your throat is, but it didn't.
You
come up.
are. I will say, after having been on the road with you for 10 days, almost 2 weeks,
I'm a burper.
you're quite a burper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you are a loud burper
Yeah.
like me. You like to.
What?
Yeah, no, but you like to kind of yell your burps.
Well, Jason, you like to do the burp that's almost like you pretend as if you're about to
Throw up.
completely throw up, and you go.
Right.
"Roar."
But I do the same thing. I do the same thing.
I will
Guys-
say that to both of your credits, neither one of you have bubble problems from the other end.
No.
I don't have too many bubble problems.
Problems from the other.
Yeah.
This guy's amazing. I don't want to waste time. He's received, guys, 16 Emmy nominations for one television show.
Huh.
Can you guess enough
Hang
of
on.
that? No.
Yeah, I'm going to say, well, wait, so that's 16 years.
Well, no, it could be for other
It
things.
could be multiple.
Multiple.
It could be writing
yeah.
and producing and
Yeah, sure. He's one of the rares that's known for both comedy and drama, and his films are some of the best ever made. This I didn't know about him. He returned to his high school in St. Louis, Missouri, to teach 8th grade acting, and one of his students was Ellie Kemper. I didn't know that.
Really?
You guys will love this, and I hope we talk about it for the entire episode. He's an avid golfer.
Uh-oh.
It's none other than the dashingly handsome, the talented
Very relatable.
Jon Hamm.
What?
What? What?
Did I get any of that right, John?
Yeah, you got it all right.
I did, really?
Him.
You have to say, I don't think I've ever been immediately put in a good mood from any of our
I know.
previous guests.
It was a pretty low bar given the fart burp conversation that I stumbled onto. But
Do you want to join in?
You just perked me up.
hi, boys.
John.
What's happening, Ham?
It's been a minute. How you doing?
Oh, John.
The best or nothing.
Yes,
We want to get
exactly.
a little mercy. We got 3 car guys on here. Sean,
Yeah, come on,
get
Sean.
a fucking car contract for
Or
Christ's
how about a
sake.
motorcycle,
I know.
Sean? Let me hear you sell a Yamaha right now.
Okay, ready?
Huh?
Hey, guys, are you in a hurry? Get a Yamaha.
Wait, you're advocating. They're going to be like, no. We don't want to advocate for people to speed if you're in a hurry.
Hey guys, pissed off at those dudes cutting line by going right in between your cars. Get a Yamaha.
Hey, guys, want to weave in and out of traffic?
Hey, we make musical instruments and motorcycles. That's not weird.
Hey, you can play our
wanna-
car.
Do you want to ride up to your baby grand in style? Hey, I wonder how many products Yamaha makes. They make musical instruments. They make pianos, obviously.
Yes,
They make
yes.
They make guitars.
I know they make violins because I had
Really?
one in 3rd grade.
A Yamaha violin? I've
I
never
believe
heard.
I did.
Whoa.
How long did you play violin?
I think until about 6th grade.
And then
And then it just got too, I could never really read music.
Yeah.
It got too complicated. I can still kind of do it from memory, like that weird long-term memory where you remember lyrics of songs, but like, your mom's birthday somehow you forget. It's the weirdest thing how your brain.
quick, what's your mom's birthday?
February 1st.
Oh, well, that's easy. That's
That's
a
a
easy
pretty
one.
good-
Who would
that's a good one.
forget
That's a
that?
very easy date. Good date.
Did you move on to a different instrument, or did you just say screw it?
No, I think
Yeah.
that's when like sports became kind of paramount, and I just did that.
What'd you jump into in sports?
Football, baseball, swimming, soccer, basketball, what have you. It was.
Were you kind of good at all of them?
I was better at football and baseball, but I was kind of good at a lot of stuff. This is the high school I went to. It says Burroughs Baseball. This is my baseball shirt from 10th grade.
Is that your actual 10th grade T-shirt?
Yeah. From varsity
Congratulations.
baseball.
God, what brand is that? It's really holding up.
I think it's a champion.
Will's high school T-shirt's now a beautiful midriff that he wears every once in a while.
It's turned into an homage to 90s Britney Spears.
Jason's high school T-shirt is a Warner Brothers Lot tour shirt.
It's a tank, okay?
It's got a cap to match it.
It's from Upfronts. They came in after Alf.
Kind of did.
1988 up
Wait,
front.
Johnny. I didn't know that about high school, where you graduated with an English degree and then went back to your high school to teach it, because that's kind of like I'm one of the few people that loved high school. And clearly
I
you
did
did too.
I went
Yeah.
to a really excellent high school, the aforementioned John Burroughs High School in St. Louis, Missouri. And we had like crazy, we were encouraged to try everything. So it was like arts and sports and academics, and everybody was sort of encouraged to achieve and do well. And that sort of was the ethos of the whole joint. So, you didn't have to be good at it, but you had to try. And that was the fun of it all. And getting exposed to like all of these different disciplines was really cool. And it wasn't, there weren't like the jocks and the nerds and the sportos or whatever the Edie McClurg thing from Ferris Bueller is of all of the gradations. They were all kind of
on Edie McClurg.
Yeah, come on, you got to know McClurg. You got to have McClurg at the top of the.
I did a show with her for 5 years.
Did you really?
Love that woman? Yeah. Hey, but now, John, don't be falsely modest here. But I've got you between the jocks and the nerds. I've got you heavier over on the jock side.
Yeah, the dial's twisted a little to that side for sure.
You did very well in high school. Was that a fair statement?
Yeah, I graduated with honors, and yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it is.
You did okay? Did you do all right?
Yeah, okay.
Why do you keep winking at him?
It's not winking.
Did you? No, we're talking about sports. Did you score? Did you score a lot?
Scored a lot of points.
Yeah,
scored a lot of points. Played a lot of defense.
Did you put a lot in the
That's
bucket?
how good he was. He had to play a lot of defense.
Put a lot of balls in the basket.
I don't know where this metaphor is going.
Jason, has Amanda got you like on a no-fly list? What's going on right now? Are you not? What's going on?
Well, then all right, so then you start to feather in.
Jason, fix your hair.
I'm sorry. You start to feather in some theater, right? Did that feather
and
in
then
some
braid,
theater.
And then did you braid anything in?
I don't have a lot of terms. Will's so tired of my shit.
I love
But
it.
it's new to John, so be hush hush.
There was some theater feathering for sure.
Yeah, did the jocks ostracize you for that? That's a new one, Will. I'm gonna feather that one in. Did they ostracize you, and then did the nerds embrace and receive you?
Like I said, no, not really, because there was a real blend of talk about feathering. Both groups were feathered together quite well.
Yeah,
and the jocks were all over. We did the senior year production was Godspell. So,
Of course.
and as in most high school productions, they were 35 roles, and they split up roles, and you would do half a song, and with the exception of me, who played Judas, and the kid who played Jesus. So yeah, it was fun and exciting, and it was something to do, and it was encouraged. So we all did it. It was fun.
If I looked at your high school picture, did you have luxurious hair?
I had a good flow
Yeah.
in '89.
Sure.
Real good flow.
Real salad, huh?
Bateman-esque, I would say.
Jason, I think Ham's giving you a run for your money. He's got a great flow.
He can have it. John wins every category with any man on the planet.
look at him.
Yeah.
You can't. You're foolish. You just chase the silver with him.
Listen,
That's
it's
it.
just nice to be nominated in any category.
Wait, Johnny, when you went back to teach at your high school, was there anybody still there that you knew?
Oh yeah,
or-
yeah, tons of teachers that I knew and loved. So it was kind of a trip.
Now teaching beside them?
Yeah, they were now colleagues, which was really cool.
That's crazy.
And in fact, the guy who was pretty much responsible for me becoming a professional actor, giving me the encouragement and hiring me and got me my equity card eventually.
Wow.
I kind of taught under him that was my pitch, was like, look, you're such a good teacher that you made this department like a fun thing to do. So you have way too many students. So you need a helper, and basically I'll be the like junior theater teacher if you'll have me. And they did.
And when was that?
I graduated college in '93, so this would have been 94, 95, and then I moved to LA in '95. Wow.
I did too.
Okay.
Wow, jeez, what a coincidence. Lower your eyebrows, Sean. Fuck. A lot of people hit the airport in 95 out here. Like a million a day.
I remember we auditioned up against each other all the time, Sean. So it was
All the time. Wait a minute.
Lost another one to
And then I went on the 405. I was on the 405 too.
What car?
What exit did you get
because I was on the 405.
Okay, wait.
I came here so long ago. It was the 404. Thank you.
Sashimi, okay?
Wait a minute. Wait, sorry, John. When we were on tour, Will or Jason, one of them came up
It was Will.
the best pun in the history of puns.
Stupid.
It was the
We were eating
dumbest.
Japanese
So
food.
dumb. I kept going. I was too lazy to make dinner, so I ordered some Japanese food, sashimi. Like, it's so stupid. And we were so punch drunk and tired, we couldn't stop laughing.
Oh,
That'll
God,
get
was that
you.
funny. I was crying real tears.
And we will be right back.
Hey, everybody, thanks to KiwiCo for supporting the show.
You know, Sean, here comes spring.
Yes.
And while there's the obvious thing to look forward to, the beautiful flowers blooming and baseball starting, there are many things to enjoy about the spring, right?
Yes, I'll be ready to go, if you know what I mean, in the spring.
Yeah, sure. You're a real bloomer. I mean, now, why do flowers bloom? Do you know why? I mean, why do caterpillars turn into butterflies? Why is the day longer? Why is it warmer now? Spring brings along new curiosity, Sean, and a chance for kids to connect with the world around them. There's so many opportunities to learn, and it's a perfect time for discoveries.
Well said, Joel.
It's Jason.
KiwiCo delivers monthly science and art projects that celebrate a child's natural curiosity and sparks a love for lifelong learning. With KiwiCo, kids will explore different STEAM topics each month, ranging from rainbows to rocket ships and everything in between. A friend of mine has 2 kids. We're very close. One's younger, one's older. For the younger one, I got the koala crate. And she went nuts for that. And for the older one, I got the Atlas crate, which is about geography and culture. And they all together kind of learned about all of that stuff I don't even know. And I barely went to school.
I'll bet they started with Australia.
It's not only a country, it's also a continent.
Do your part to encourage your children to be innovators and creative thinkers. They will not believe what they can build and accomplish with KiwiCo.
Give them the tools to learn new skills, build new experiences, and make new connections with the broader world. Give it to them.
Step up into spring and celebrate the season of discovery with KiwiCo subscription.
Get 30% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate line at kiwico.com/smartless.
Now that's 30% off your first month at kiwico.com/smartless.
Thanks to Allbirds for their support. Spring is so close you can almost feel it, right? So it's the perfect time to get outside and move, whatever your speed. Allbirds just released the new Tree Dasher 2, the next generation of their best-selling, insanely comfortable running shoe made from a mix of natural materials that's better for you, and guess what? It's better for the planet. I got my Tree Dasher 2s. They're amazing. I love how they look. I love how they feel. It's like this. They're so cushy. It's like so soft on your feet. I love it. I wear them every day. And also, here's what's great about the Tree Dasher 2. I can wear them to the gym, but I can also wear them like walking to work or just around the house. They're just that comfortable. The Tree Dasher 2 is next evolution of Allbirds' best-selling running shoe. It adds comfort to every run with lighter, more responsive foam, extra grip, and an improved fit to keep you running and nature winning. Made from Allbirds' roster of natural materials like merino wool, eucalyptus, and sugarcane, this everyday running shoe softens impact, smooths transitions, and continuously delivers comfort stride after stride. Lighter, more responsive foam adds spring to every step. Get it? Extra traction, grips, pavement, and new reflective details increase visibility for safer runs. Spring forward with the Allbirds Tree Dasher 2 running shoe. Discover your perfect pair at allbirds.com today. That's ALLBIRDS.com. We are brought to you in part by Vuori. Vuori is a fresh perspective on performance apparel, perfect if you are sick and tired, like I am, of traditional old workout gear. Everything is designed to work out in, but doesn't look or feel like it. And every piece is so comfortable, you want to wear it all the time. These pieces are designed to perform while still looking great. They'll take you from the gym to the coffee shop to whatever other errands you have that day. Vuori is committed to a happier, healthy planet. They reduce and offset 100% of their plastic footprint from 2019 and beyond and use better sustainable materials. I literally, no joke, I have my Vuori shorts on now. I wear them all the time. They're so comfortable. Sometimes I sleep in them. Sometimes I work out on them. Sometimes I just go get like a tea or a meal somewhere with them. They're just so comfortable. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they're offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/smartless. That's VUORI.com/smartless. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, you'll also get free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/smartless and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing.
And now, back to the show.
John, would you ever consider doing something so generous and loving and give back-ish as teaching the 8th grade class again? Now that you got the 16 Emmys, this incredible career,
Nominations.
this nominations.
That's crazy. Is that the most nominations anybody's ever received for one show? It's got to be a record.
I don't think so.
It's crazy.
I think there's been, because they were for, eventually I became a producer on the show, so I got nominated for Best Show and things like that.
But you won 3 as an actor?
I won 1.
Oh.
I won 1 for the final season of Mad Men. But I was nominated, I think, as a guest star on SNL and on 30 Rock and a couple of things like that. So I think those have been lumped in there.
What'd you do with all the speeches? What'd you do with the 15 speeches that you didn't use?
I still got them.
I'll bet you do,
I still got them right up here.
No. Did you memorize them or did you write them down?
No. I didn't write anything. I never wrote anything down ever.
You didn't have any sort of thoughts prepared? If I get up there, I want to make sure I don't forget to thank.
Honestly, no. I really didn't.
Jason, did you write a few of the times that you lost?
Oh, yeah. No, I've got a book. Yeah.
You did write them down.
Yeah.
I was an early adopter for when Bateman won. I was right there on, I'm probably number 4 on the text chain. Congrats, buddy.
John is
You
incredibly
deserve it.
supportive,
Love you.
consistent.
Oh, fuck. You know what? That's a good point. Congrats, Jason.
What happened?
I know it's been a couple years. No, you winning the Emmy. Sorry, I don't think I ever said anything.
Hey, better late than never.
Wait.
Sashimi.
Sashimi, all right?
You know what? Will can use the same joke again, another one from the tour, which was when I said to Jason, I got him golf balls for Christmas, like 2 sets of 18 golf balls each or something. And I said, did you ever get that? And he goes, yeah, I already had those. And Will goes, that's a twist on thank you.
Wait, what did I say? I already had those?
No, Sean, you said that you dropped them. Sean, you go, I gave you like a couple boxes of golf balls. You came over to my house and I gave them to you. And Jason, you said, oh, yeah, I did get those. I said, well, that's a fun twist on thank you.
It's pronounced thank you.
I like
Sean,
it's pronounced thank you.
I don't think that happened.
That's okay.
I think you're both.
Wait, back to Jason's question. Would you ever go back and teach now, John? Would you ever do that? Desire still there?
I sure would. I was offered a chance to extend my contract by another year, and I would have loved to have done it. But I was 24, turning 25 at the time, and I thought, well, maybe I'm at least going to try to do LA, see what happens, and I did, and I really would though. I found it tremendously fulfilling. I don't know what teaching is like now with phones and internet. This was pre-internet, pre-phone.
Well, that's what I was going to kind of ask, like what teaching would be like now for you, though. Like you as an acting teacher then versus how you would teach acting now. Not to get into acting weeds because we'll lose our one listener. But like as your whole theory about acting, like how would you teach the kids now? Would it be different?
It would probably be similar, if not identical. I would just have much more credibility as a 50-year-old rather than a 24-year-old guy trying to wear a tie.
Yeah.
What was the gig that you had? What was the job you had right before Mad Men?
I was kind of unemployed for I got a pilot, which I got fired off of. Mm-hmm. And then I tested for 7 other pilots the following pilot season and got none. Like I went all the way up to the top, and then
7 times. Oh my God!
So Mad Men was my 8th test that season, and it was crazy late in what used to be called pilot season because it was on AMC, which didn't really know how to do pilot season, so they just had a different schedule than everybody else. But I had tested 7 times and biffed them all. So my last job was a pilot that was called something that then went on to be called a show called Related with Lizzie Kaplan, Jennifer Esposito, and someone else. And I played the love interest of, God, why am I spacing on her name? She was in Pretty Woman with Julia Roberts.
San Giacomo?
Yes, Laura San Giacomo. So Laura San Giacomo was the eldest of 3 siblings, and I was her love interest. And and she killed herself on this pilot, and she was wonderful in it. And they forced her call every day, and she had a kid at home. It was like they treated her terribly. And then they fired her. And the powers that be said, "You're out." And when they told me, they were like, "But we like you, and you're going to stay." I was like, "There's no part for that was my love interest. I don't have a person, and I'm not in the family, so it doesn't make sense." No. Yeah. And they kept me. and I had to turn down another couple of jobs that now I was available for, and then they released my option on the last day and fired me. So that was my last gig before Mad Men.
That's so crazy. And what a change of perspective you have now on the other end of it. And we all know we've been there. Of just hearing you describe it brings almost like PTSD. Of,
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you said, we've all had a version of that of just like,
for sure.
oh, this is gonna go. Oh, it didn't, and then it's gonna go in the far worse way than it ever possibly could have.
Yeah.
Right, and a good example of, while it probably felt like hell at the time, had that show kept going, had they not fired you, you would have been unavailable to do Mad Men. So
Right.
it was a great.
Yeah, everything happens. For a reason.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason.
So you're saying look at the bright side of things, which I'm gonna say I agree with.
There's plenty of fluid in that glass.
Johnny, I read somewhere that you, after Mad Men, you got offered like 800 parts where it took place in the 60s or some kind of same thing over and over and over and over again. But you were smart enough to wait for that one good thing. And what was that one thing?
Well, there's obviously, like, as soon as one thing hits, then there's 5 versions of that thing that come down the pike. And so for us, it was NBC came out with something called Pan Am. Or something that was about like sexy stewardesses in the 60s. And then like there was some other version of like Woodstock and it was just all this stuff. And you know, then the movie Revolution Road came out. Like there were all of these kind of things that the 60s became kind of a hot commodity, or at least the late 60s. And it was and not only that, it was just it was like, so if there was a brooding dark character that smoked and drank a lot, then I got that script, and I was kind of like, that's my day job. Like I don't, and I love it, and I get to do it at a very high level, and I very much appreciate it. But it's my day job. Like I would rather do something radically different.
Was any part of you like, oh God, I know what it's like to not work so much that maybe I should just take one of these things?
Like the immediate instinct when you have that is to just grab everything with both hands and hold on for dear life. But I don't know. There was something, I guess I was older. I was 36 at the time, 37. Like, I was kind of like, all right, I got this. This seems to be going really well. Mm-hmm. But then, like, you know, Lorne Michaels came calling and said, like, why don't you host the show? And I was literally like, this has to be a prank. I don't understand. And yes. And in fact, I had to turn it down the first time he asked, because my then girlfriend at the time and I had planned this huge trip. Like, I'd never been to Greece. We had planned this whole 2-week long getaway, and it was like we couldn't move it. Wow. And I was like, well, I get to say no to Lorne Michaels.
Sean will never go to Mykonos again. Tell him what happened, Sean.
Yeah, Sean.
What happened, Sean?
Jesus.
Yeah, you know me too well.
I love the highlights.
John, it's funny. Mad Men was and remains such an incredibly it's one of those shows that really changed. I feel like in a lot of ways changed TV, changed the way that people look at TV. Was one of incredible writing, and you were so incredible in it. And I'll tell you, here's a testament to how great you are. You were in that part, and you are, because it still lives on. When I actually started watching it in earnest, I had already known you a few years. And then started watching it and was completely immersed in it and could not get enough of it, and watched absolutely every episode all the way through to the end, and was really profoundly moved by your performance as Don Draper, honestly. Yeah. And it really, 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 truly. And
it's historical now.
Absolutely.
Did it change the way you acted around John when you'd hang out with him afterwards?
No,
for sure.
No, but yes, of course. But I think
way more deferential.
Way more.
Right.
Let's hear what John has to say. I don't know.
He's my friend John.
My friend John is. John, do you want anything?
I mean, I wasn't going out, but I will. I will totally go out.
Well, the kids are in bed and the doors are locked, but I'll get up. No, I'll get dressed. But so you do something like that changes your life in so many ways.
Absolutely.
And it's at first scary, probably, and weird. Like you say, Lorne Michaels is calling you, and
and it didn't happen at 18 years old.
Yeah,
right?
I to this day, Jason, God, your life and growing up the way you grew up, being famous since you were 6. I remember you on Silver Spoons. I'll say it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was a fan. I was a fan early on. I was like, this kid's good. I get it.
weird.
But yeah, it changes everything, you know, and it really does provide an incredible amount of opportunity, but it comes with an incredible amount of like, you know, caveat, you know, like just be careful of what you wish for in a lot of ways. So,
Yeah.
you know, we also came around, you know, the show really kind of got famous, and I then got famous around 2007, which seems like not that long ago, but was a long time ago. Not only it was 15 years ago, but it was that was the year they came out with the iPhone.
Mm.
And I think it was maybe around the time that Twitter started. And then like 2010 was Instagram, and like all of these things were starting to kind of like people's access to the internet became in their pocket and 24/7. And so that was kind of the blogging recap culture was just starting. So this idea of kind of actively engaged fans that could in real time kind of talk about the shows really came around right when we happened to get famous. So there was a lot of like serendipity and luck involved in our show's success, and it was, you know, it was crazy and it was a whirlwind, and it was impossible to kind of not enjoy because it was enjoyable, and it so rarely happens that we've all been a part of at least one, in some cases several hits like that where it's out of your control and you just have to hold on for the ride, and that's kind of what I did.
But getting that level of fame and respect and success in a profession at the age you were at is fortuitous, I would think.
For sure.
In that you've got the coping mechanisms to deal with something like that. Were you able to take some really beneficial parts from fame and incorporate it into your life in a healthy way?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is being okay with appreciating it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of us, I think, that want to like poo-poo it and play it down and be modest with it, which is also very healthy and good. But there's something very, I think, healthy about saying like, you know what? Yeah, good for me. Hooray.
Yeah.
Yay me. I didn't for nothing like work for 10 years with very little recognition or accolades or money or jobs or anything. Like, you know, when I landed in 95, when Sean and I landed in 1995, it took me 3 years to even get a job. So, you know, it wasn't for lack of trying. I auditioned for everything. You know, my weird audition story was auditioning for Mimi Leader for Deep Impact, a part that eventually went to Jon Favreau. And, you know, who to this day I still say I'm still a little angry at. I'm a little angry at him for beating me out for that. He had swingers. He's a writer. He had so much, and he
didn't need Deep Impact.
He couldn't back off and just give me that. I needed it.
No,
but
he could pay you back now. Give you some nice sweet arc on Mandalorian.
Some Mandalorian love.
Yeah, nice little tight little three up arc.
Well, he's also he's the guy in all that stuff too, and all the Marvel stuff, isn't he?
He's Johnny Marvel. Come on,
isn't he the guy? Isn't he in those movies too?
He's Iron Man.
He's Downey's driver, right?
Yes.
Chauffeur, getting his SAG benefits. You know what I mean?
Listen, he's driven Robert Downey in the Iron Man trilogy, quadruple E.
Yep.
He's driven Jack Nicholson. I think
truly
in As Good as It Gets.
Really?
Am I making this up?
I don't remember.
Was he a driver in that?
Was he in As Good as It Gets?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I might be conflating a lot of things.
I think you made that up.
John is a fun guy to act with. Have you guys done that?
No, but I obviously know him. He's a fun guy in general.
He is fun in a scene.
Yeah.
Very fast, very quick. And him and Vince together, well, that must have been fun to watch on the set.
Oh man, yeah. I've met those guys. I live on the east side of LA, and they're kind of credited with kind of bringing Los Feliz into the hipster world for sure.
Yeah.
The Dresden, the whole kind of swing, you know, the swingers scene was their scene for sure.
Right.
And when those guys walked into a bar in 1996, like you knew it. It was they were very good hangs, and they were very funny even then. And you know, the proof's in the pudding. They both have very nice careers. So God
We
bless
were
them.
we were talking the other day about Jason and I were talking about Vince, about how fucking quick and funny he is.
There's just no one better at what he
He's
does.
fucking he's unreal.
Yeah,
And nobody does what he does, which is a nice place to be.
yeah.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
The podcast you're currently listening to is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Okay?
Yes, this week's topic is putting others first, right?
Yeah, you got to put others first.
Yeah.
Sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and sometimes you got to put number one first. It's a push-pull thing, right? That's we're all trying to figure out the right combo.
I have a thing about that too, because it always sounds like, you know, you're bragging, or you're like, you know, you're egotistical by saying, I always put others first, because this other people listening or friends might be like, no, you don't.
Right.
And, but I do sometimes to a fault. It's something I have to learn. I'm always kind of wanting the whole room to be happy before I am.
Right, but you probably can't be as great a friend or husband unless you are happy. So sometimes
That's right.
you might need to put yourself first and build up that good mood so that then you can really give.
That's the thing I have to learn too, is like, you know, if you're not healthy on the on the outside, like the gym and like exercising and eating better on the inside, then your brain can't be healthy,
That's right.
right? Because it's all about making you feel good physically, so that mentally you feel good.
Right, and BetterHelp Online Therapy can help. They want to remind you to give yourself that same love that you give to others. It's very, very simple, right?
Yes, but I'm on my way of learning that, and I am learning that, and
Yeah, no, I did not commit to being there for you, but I would if you were there for me a little bit more often, it might put me in a good enough mood to then be able to be better to you.
yes, and I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall.
BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to.
It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours.
Give it a try. See why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy.
SmartLess listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/smartless.
Now that's BETTERHELP.com/smartless.
I already feel better. SmartLess is supported by Athletic Greens. You've all heard us talk a lot about how much we love this stuff. It's the one thing with the best things, right? No need to buy tons of supplements. Athletic Greens is your all-in-one nutritional insurance. I don't like making smoothies in the morning. Sometimes I make Scotty make them for me. I don't make him, I ask him, and he rolls his eyes. He says, sure. But anyway, he puts all the goodies in there, and he puts Athletic Greens in there, and it all tastes so delicious. It tastes delicious on its own, but it tastes just as great too in a smoothie, and that's how I do it, and it saves me all that time and work, and it gulp it down in one swig. It gives me everything I need for the whole day, and I feel great about it. Hey, Scotty, don't you love making me the smoothies, and don't I look great?
Yeah.
Yeah. With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It's lifestyle-friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. It's just one scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/smartless. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/smartless to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Yay, Scotty.
Yay.
All right, back to the show.
John, when you now that you worked your butt off to get to where you are, and in hindsight, it probably took longer than you wanted and longer than what you explained before. Is there anything that you tell younger actors going through it now, or any kind of businessy advice rather than acting, technique advice that that you would probably pass on to anybody looking to make it now?
I've talked to actually Jenna Fisher about this, who's also from St. Louis, who I've known for some time. I didn't know her in St. Louis, but we were talking about something for some reason, and it's funny. Like you can go to all of the acting schools in the world, and nobody really teaches you about the business of acting,
Right.
and what it really is like. Of course, like managing your day and managing your time and
Your expectations.
your expectations for sure. Like thinking about, here's what it is to like drive into the valley in August and then have another audition in Fox in an hour, and it's a lot, and it's real, and it's actually the part of acting that most actors engage with from a professional standpoint far more than they do, scene study or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's that part, and there's also just the fact that everything at this level moves so quickly, especially in television, that if you're not ready to go, if you haven't done the work before you get to work, then it's not going to go well.
Right.
For one reason or another. And I've seen it happen. I've been a victim of it, of just like, oh, I'll just wing it. And then you're like, uh-oh.
Right.
But it's a real lesson to learn of just, it's the first one I learned in class of just like, be prepared.
I had an acting teacher too years ago. He kind of would profess this, and he was kind of a working actor. He was a character actor guy, and he'd lived in LA a long time. He had moved back to New York. It's like
Charles Nelson Riley or
early 90s.
Charles Bronson.
It was Charles Bronson. It was
Chris Valanche.
And we'd only do scenes from Fort Apache, the Bronx, but he would.
Wait, what?
But he
Great movie. He wasn't in that.
Charles Bronson was. Sure, he was. So anyway,
You had a lot to pick from, but I'm glad you picked that one.
yeah, me too. He would say the same thing, which was like, as a young actor, if you get to set and you start going like, I'm going to work through my stuff, you're fired. There's no time to work through your shit. They got to get this shot and they got to move on.
Yeah.
And they don't give a fuck about what your process is and how you get there. You deliver. When they fucking call action, be ready. And I think that was like I had that at an early age. And I felt lucky because I feel a lot of actors feel like, I'm just going to go and I'm going to work it out.
Just gonna feel it.
Once they see how amazing I am, they'll give me all the time in the world.
Right. But it depends on what you want, right? If you want to be like, take Tom Cruise, for example. People are like, they didn't just hand it to him. Like he worked his butt off to be Tom Cruise. You know what I mean? Like,
and having worked with him, he is the first guy on set. He's in the gym at 5 a.m, call times at 6. He's there, he's ready to go, and he's the last guy that leaves. And it's that guy deserves it. He wants it, he got it, he works hard at it. And that's, Jason, I know you've directed. Have you guys both directed television,
Yes.
Sean and Will? Like,
Yeah.
it's the same thing when you sit through those auditions and you think like, all right, the guy that comes, who's going to come in and take this part?
Right.
Who's going to come in?
So I can worry about something else.
So I can worry about something else. And by the way, so
Exactly.
I can go back to the set. I got to shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
And you watch the guys that do it, that walk in and just say like, I don't have any questions, or I don't have any ridiculous questions. Not hey, there's not 10 minutes of bullshit.
No.
It's like, let's do this, and I'm going to prove to you how I can crush this. And then it's like, great. That's the guy I want on the day when I'm 10 hours behind.
Sean, you do that, but you haven't directed, but you go to when it goes to going to the gym, you're the last guy there and the first guy out, right?
Yeah.
Very similar.
I mean, look at me.
So, John, growing up in St. Louis, did you spend any summers at the Lake of the Ozarks down there?
Yeah. In fact, my a good portion of my family has retired down there. My dad's sister, my Aunt Betty, lives down there full time now, and my cousin.
Is it true that there's a bar down there that does real well called Big Dick's Halfway In?
Whoa.
No way.
Is that a true story?
It's entirely possible. If I'm judging by the amount of and the quality of puns that I've seen and heard throughout the years in the Lake of the Ozarks, the Redneck
Is that
Riviera.
true, Jason? Is that a real bar?
That's a real bar, from what I understand, and it is a very high level pun. That is that they deserve to do a lot of business in there.
Jason, can we get a little something out of Marty Bird?
I don't change at all. This is a full Marty right
We
now.
hear a little something out of Marty
This whole
Bird.
interview has been conducted by Marty Bird, I think.
We'd love to have a conversation with Marty Bird real quick.
I think it might go a little something like
Now,
this.
did you ever see any Any money laundering or
No.
killings or
Very
anything
little.
down there?
Very little, if any.
We're painting a pretty bleak picture of the lake down there.
There was a lot of bass fishing,
Sure.
a lot of water skiing,
Yeah.
and some pretty heavy drinking.
Yeah.
But a lot of very poor water safety.
Yeah. But you're not getting a murder a week down there.
No.
Yeah. We're taking a little
Maybe
license.
fall out of the boat, hit
Sure.
your head.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I had my phone in my pocket. God damn
That's
it.
a lot of
that's
that, for sure.
A lot of anger with that.
But not
That's
a lot of cartel guys walking down dirt roads with shotguns in the middle of the night, right?
You just didn't see
Yeah.
it. And that
Yeah.
doesn't mean it didn't exist.
Now, are they upset at us for painting that type of a picture?
I think any publicity for the Ozarks is good publicity at this point.
You know, they do need to lengthen the runway there so they could get some commercial flights in there and really open up tourism, darn it.
You're preaching to the choir at this point.
Once you get down there and kind of ramrod something like that, huh?
Is that one of the other bars, the Ramrod, something like
was
that?
just
The
gonna say,
ramrod
sorry.
does great business, but it's mostly on weekends.
And it's gay.
I'm
Mostly
sorry.
on weekends. Thank you.
Johnny, what's your favorite, best movie experience on a set or part that you played and experienced?
I will tell you, I've got it right here.
He's
ready to
loaded
go.
with that one.
I had worked on a movie called Bad Times at the El Royale a couple years
Yeah.
ago.
Good
Yes.
movie.
Directed by a guy who I've known for a long time. He used to write promos for the WB. I auditioned to be the guy that reads the next on the WB.
Mm-hmm.
That guy that Will probably got.
Yeah, sure.
No, I did CBS at that time.
Fair enough. And so I got the offer for it during Sundance.
Yeah.
Came through. They said, you got 48 hours to read this. It's yours if you want it. You got to be on a plane from Sundance to Vancouver. Let me know. And I read it and I loved it. And I was like, cool. This is amazing. Who fell out, basically, because clearly somebody did.
No, John.
No, somebody did. It was fine. It was Russell Crowe. Whatever. Good replacement, I think.
Sure.
And it was to work with Jeff Bridges, who I've wanted to work with my entire life,
amazing,
and I've
yeah.
always thought was maybe the coolest guy. Even pre Big Lebowski, I was on board. I just thought
That's
he
no
was,
letdown, right? He's a real, that's a
he is-
high level
he is
professional.
The best. And so I got to work with that guy I shot the whole thing chronologically. Spoiler alert, I die in the first act, but I shot all, whatever 2.5 weeks of my part, and it was mostly with Jeff. And man, and it was a beautiful set. It was super cool. Everybody on it was nice. That was one of the good ones. That was really one of the good ones.
John, how weird. So you actually, you did this movie with the guy who was writing promos at the CW. What a trip for you guys, right? Did you guys acknowledge
and
that?
I knew him through like a little poker league that we played in. Like he hit the big time. Drew Goddard, and he's still making
yeah.
movies.
Yeah, he's
at
doing
a-
very
wait,
well.
I know Drew because he's Caroline Williams. He's married to Caroline Williams, who's a tremendous comedy writer. She's one of the funniest writers I've ever worked with.
There you have it.
She wrote on
Good
BoJack.
things happen to good people sometimes.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned auditioning to be the voice of CW. So the voice has been something that you've been using for a while. Then it sounds like, but you've really hit the top of the mountain there with Mercedes for how many years now?
I think going on 13 now.
Jon Hamm.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
They've
great.
I've outlasted several CEOs and CMOs, and
13 years. That's pretty good.
it's not
Here he
bad.
comes. Here he comes.
Oh,
here
here
he
he
comes. It's not professional grade, though. I mean, 13 years is good, but it's not
We're not
professional
gonna get
grade.
It's not professional.
It's
We're
not
gonna get
professional
into it.
grade.
It doesn't matter.
Oh no, I think people
It
want to
doesn't
know.
matter.
I will say, for the listeners out there, every now and again, I will get texts from both Jason and Will about some voiceover something or other, which is it's a compliment, but it's a left-handed compliment. as
No.
we used to
No.
say. It's
No.
always a I see you doing that too. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Real happy for you. Real.
And let me
happy
tell you
for
what else is a good. That Apple commercial that you do is
Yes.
killer.
I
Yeah.
love that.
That's well
Come
done.
on, that's
and it's
been-
I love
beautiful.
that.
Who shot that, by the way? I want DP and director.
Another guy I've known for a long, long time through our mutual friend Tall John Schrader, a guy named Wayne McClammy, who now is another guy that came
Top
out
director.
of the trenches of the WB.
No
I'm
way.
not kidding.
Do you know who shot it? Do you know who the DP was?
I don't remember the name of the DP. I'm sorry.
Okay, wait, Johnny. Before we let you go, because I know you got to go, I want to know what you're excited about coming up. That's really getting you going?
I'll tell you exactly what I'm excited about because I've said it about 4 times today. I get to go to Europe for my birthday.
Oh.
I turned 50 last year, and it was during a pandemic, and my big celebration was having some people over and standing 10 feet away from them.
Yeah.
And I get to go, my gal and I get to go to the Alps for 2 weeks for my birthday. I've never been to Switzerland.
Oh,
That's
I've never been to
exciting.
that part of France, and I've never been to that part of Italy. So we're gonna do it right. And
You're gonna like that a lot.
I'm leaving in a week, and I'm very, very excited about that.
That's so
Dude.
exciting.
George can toss you the keys for the house in
GC,
Como.
baby, you got Como handy? Let me
he's not
let me rock
using
it
it.
out.
It's right there.
I promise I'll mop up.
why not? And listen, you can pop down to Zermatt, and where are you going in Switzerland?
Switzerland, Stade.
Stade.
Nice.
Yes.
I just want to be like, I want to do like one thing James Bond did.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I want to eat dinner in a like UFO shaped thing that you have to take a gondola to, and then you ski out for
Yeah.
dessert.
Hey, are you gonna get into Germany at all? You should get to Germany and have Mercedes give you one of their cars and
Yeah.
drive on the Autobahn where there's no speed limit.
Yeah,
It's
I
incredible.
think that's a different trip, but yes, that's going
Right.
to happen at some point.
I'll
too.
go on that one with you.
Okay,
Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on.
God, that sounds like
let's
fun.
take this podcast on the road and
Done.
do it German style.
But one more thing, and I know the personal life is way more important than anything we do for a living, but I'm just excited about you and your talent. And is there anything that you're excited that's coming up that you can share with us that you're working on or going to work on?
The most exciting thing that I have coming out, which will finally come out in May, is the long-awaited 30 years on sequel to Top Gun.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
You're in that?
Yes, I am.
Holy
That's
shit.
great.
And that's coming out, I think, Memorial Day weekend around there. And I've seen it. It's really, really good. It's exactly what you want out of this. And it's I cannot wait for people to see it. It was one of those things where another kind of pinch me moment, like just like, wait, they're asking me to be in the Top Gun sequel? Like tell my 15-year-old self that, and
Right.
Yeah.
I would punch my 15-year-old self in the face. Like
Yeah, that's healthy.
so yeah.
Tom Cruise was not a disappointment either, I'll bet, right? Just
The best
incredible.
in the biz, man.
Yeah.
He's the best in the biz.
Yeah,
He's as
I've heard.
advertised. He is intense and hardworking, but that's exactly who you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want in a Tom Cruise.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's great.
Do a whole hour on that. That's awesome.
Well, I'm excited about that, Johnny. Thank you for being here. I know you got to run. It means the
John,
world
you're
to
the
us, and
best.
thank you for saying yes to
Ham,
coming on. I'm such a
fucking
big
Boys,
fan.
thank you very much for having me. It's rare that I know all 3 podcast hosts at the same time, and it's
Hopefully, if Major League Baseball gets their act together, we can go out
yeah.
there
What are
and
we
spend
going to
some
do about
quality
that?
time.
You know, Jason and I have a lovely, friendly Cardinals-Dodgers rivalry that the Dodgers have had the better of the last few years, but
Not
you know,
really, barely. You still have Flaherty, though. You know,
listen, you got the ring.
you give me him, and all's forgiven.
Okay, I'll trade you for Walker Buehler.
I mean, with the
They-
high
they went
school
to
out here,
together.
and no, he needs to be with Walker. Oh, anyway, we'll talk. We'll negotiate something.
No. Please continue on with fucking baseball, man. Of all the fucking sports.
Yeah, let's end on baseball.
Well, we can end on the fact that I went on a blind date with Jason's now wife. We can, but that's
Yeah.
that's
Wait,
for
you
another
did?
podcast.
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
wait.
No,
30
he's
seconds.
got to
That in
go,
there really
guys.
fast.
I
He's gotta
gotta go.
hard
I
out.
gotta go. That's using the next
Bateman,
episode.
shut it. Listen,
Did you
just-
really go on a blind date with Amanda?
Ham, just wink at me. 1 wink means yes, 2 means okay, yes. fucking-
John.
All right, John Ham, thank you so much, John.
Thank you, Johnny.
Oh, great to have you. Ham, you're the best.
You're the best. Go
Let's bring
Burrows.
Amanda on the next time. All right, I love you guys. Thank
love
you
you,
so
Tom.
much.
Love you, buddy.
Thank
Bye,
you.
man.
Thank
Talk
you.
soon.
Bye.
John Hamm is no ham. John is a very humble, classy, solid individual.
A solid individual. Yeah.
Yeah, I was super excited that he was coming on. I mean, he's like one of those guys that's, I say it all the time, but to about other people, but whenever he's in something, you're like, oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's got a
and-
real solid presence.
And I really meant it about Mad Men, watching that and truthfully, like thinking like, kind of know him and like this, how's this going to be watching him in this? It's kind of like Jason watching you in Ozark, which is also a testament to how good you are.
Yeah.
It's like you get into it and you're like, you forget that you know the guy, which is, it's a higher bar to have to, a higher
I
threshold
love
to
that.
have
Yeah.
to get over. I know.
That's so true. Like,
and that shows how good it is.
Jay, whenever I watch those, I can't, it's like, it's transformative, as they say. So congratulations on that. Congratulations to Jon Hamm on being
So, Sean, also, what a great guest. So great having John on.
Yeah, he's got a new podcast.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Does he have a new podcast?
Yeah, he's got a new podcast. It's called American Hostage, and it's on Amazon Wondery. It's fantastic. You got to listen to the trailer. The trailer sounds like an actual movie. It's really, really cool.
Ah, he's perfect for that.
It's really great.
He's perfect for that because he's so good. I meant it when I said, like, I watch Mad Men.
How many? You would never think that a series about a pot store would last for how many seasons?
Oh, no, you're thinking of Mad Men, which is a pot store out here in
Yeah.
California. No, it's a totally different, I mean, it's a very
Mad. So it's an anger management, like a help group?
Again, it's just, I wish you could, it's just kind of a play on Madison Avenue guys of advertising executives explaining what they do.
I must.
But it's like where they, those ad executives, they come up with all the different slogans, like, you know, do this, or like.
You're thinking of like.
Bye. SmartLess is 100% organic and artisanally handcrafted by Michael Grant Terry, Rob Armjarv, and Bennett Barbaco. SmartLess. Our next episode will be out in a week wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can listen to it right now early on Amazon Music, or early and ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app.